Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Good to be here.
Today, we're diving into a topic that, well, it might seem deceptively simple, the power of reading.
Deceptively simple is right.
But it holds incredible, potentially life-altering significance, especially, for those maybe navigating the world in a new language or finding their place in a new stage of life.
Yeah, it's really far more than just picking up vocabulary or grammar rules. It's about transformation on a really fundamental level.
Exactly. And our source material today, it's not some dense academic paper or a dry language textbook.
No, which is refreshing.
It is. It's actually this beautiful narrative, almost like a story broken into chapters following the journey of a young woman named Mira.
And it's partly designed, I think, to teach English through listening.
That's right. But what we're really uncovering within it is something, well, much deeper.
That narrative structure is so key, isn't it? It lets us explore the emotional side, the personal dimensions of learning and change.
Things that often get missed in, the more technical approaches.
Definitely.
So our mission in this deep dive is to go beyond just the surface of Mira's story. We're going to unpack the most important insights,
Find those surprising connections maybe buried within her experience.
and pull out those aha moments, the ones that resonate universally, offering, hopefully, some lessons for your own journey.
Think of it like we're exploring a map, maybe, drawn by Mira's steps.
Oh, I like that. A map.
Yeah, showing not just how reading can improve a skill like English, but how it can profoundly reshape your sense of self, your sense of what's possible.
Ready to turn the first page with us?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this.
So we meet Mira at a point that I think a lot of us can relate to, right? She's 25, working a pretty familiar job, a coffee shop.
Yeah, routine.
Totally routine. And her evenings are spent like countless others, scrolling the phone, watching TV.
But underneath all that, there's this quiet longing, isn't there? For something more.
Definitely. She dreams of confidence, speaking English more fluently, maybe seeing the world someday.
And here's the really poignant part, I think. The central conflict she's grappling with right at the start.
Uh-huh.
She hated books.
Wow. Okay. Hated them.
Not just disliked them, genuine aversion. She saw them as boring, tedious, like homework she never wanted to do again.
While her friends are.
Exactly. While her friends are chatting about exciting ideas they got from reading, she felt this sharp sting of inadequacy.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, she'd ask herself things like, why am I not as smart as them? Why can't I speak like that? You know that feeling, being on the outside.
Yeah, feeling like you're lacking something fundamental that everyone else just gets.
Precisely.
That initial resistance, that hatred even, is so important to understand, though. For her, books didn't represent potential. They represented failure, or a reminder of what she thought she lacked.
Yeah, limitations, negative feelings, intellect, confidence, all tangled up with books.
So how does someone like that even start? Someone who hates books.
Well, it wasn't a grand plan. It was purely accidental. Just a sudden, heavy rainstorm.
The classic catalyst.
Right. Catches her off guard, forces her to duck into the most unlikely place for her. An old, dusty library.
Just for shelter. An inconvenience that turns into, something else entirely.
It really speaks to how often those big turning points aren't planned, are they?
Not at all. It's the disruption, the unexpected detour, stepping through a door you wouldn't normally open.
And while she's waiting out the storm, just killing time, really, her hand lands on this small book.
Okay.
Blue cover, golden stars, and the title, The Journey Begins.
Wow. Okay. Doesn't sound like homework.
Not at all.
The universe, maybe, has a sense of timing.
Right.
or narrative flair.
You think. And the very first line she reads just cuts right through all that resistance. You are stronger than you think, braver than you know, and this is only the beginning.
Of that line,
Right there.
it's like it was written just for her, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right then, right there. What is it about certain sentences that can just stop you cold, make it feel so personal? It bypasses the intellect, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It goes straight to that deeper, maybe hidden part of us. The part that feels vulnerable, that doubts itself. Words like stronger and braver, they don't just describe, they kind of invoke something.
Yeah, they plant a seed.
Exactly. A seed of possibility that just counters that ingrained belief of I'm not smart enough or I'm not good enough.
It's the affirmation she needed, but from this source she'd always dismissed.
Right. Turning the book from an object of dread into maybe a potential ally.
And the reaction is instant. She's hooked, phone forgotten, rain outside, gone.
Just reading.
Just reading that first chapter. And she has this huge seminal realization. She actually likes it.
The thing she was convinced she hated.
Yeah.
That moment of genuine, unexpected enjoyment is so vital. It breaks the negative cycle, the association.
Pleasure is a powerful motivator, right?
Absolutely. Transforms it from obligation or anxiety into, well, interest, pleasure even.
And the librarian sees this quiet little shift happening.
Just observes.
Yeah. A simple smile, offers the book for free, and adds that gentle suggestion. It might just change her life.
Just a small act of kindness, isn't it? But recognizing that spark, giving her permission almost to explore this new feeling.
And that night, the symbol of her shift is so clear. She sleeps with the book next to her, not her phone.
Wow. Okay. That's a statement.
A profound, almost magical beginning to something completely new for her.
From avoidance, being tethered to the superficial, to embracing something, tangible, potentially transformative.
A literal turning of the page.
In the book and in her life. Yeah.
So that first spark, it definitely ignites something. The next morning, she's not just back to the old routine.
Now she's thinking.
She's thinking about those words, you are stronger than you think. It's stuck in her head.
The words have crossed over, haven't they? From the page into her, like her internal landscape, prompting reflection, stirring up curiosity, suggesting that maybe that old internal dialogue, why am I not smart enough? Maybe that isn't the whole story.
And this time, it's a sunny day. No rain needed.
Ah, okay.
But her feet just lead her back to the library. She's actively seeking now.
Right, this is crucial. Moving from just stumbling upon it passively to actively pursuing it.
She asks the librarian for more books like that first one.
Following that thread of curiosity and the librarian's recommendations, voices in the wind, the light inside us, they're described as simple but powerful.
Validating her first experience, right? Fueling that bit of hope.
Exactly. But then the story throws in a little twist, a new element.
The misery.
Yeah, she notices this door, slightly ajar, back corner, marked Staff Only Archives. Stairs leading down.
Into the dimness. Ooh.
The classic hidden door trope. But in a library, the archives, that represents something deeper, doesn't it?
More than just old stuff.
Accumulated knowledge,
Yeah.
history, maybe forgotten wisdom. Her noticing it, being drawn to it, signals she's looking for more than just surface-level reading now.
It's like a metaphor, maybe, for her going deeper into herself and into stories.
I think so. And she goes down.
Creaking steps, the smell of dust and ink, dim light. What she finds isn't just storage. It's rich with the past.
Old newspapers.
Letters, photographs.
Hundreds of rare old books. Like a secret treasure room.
Yeah, it's like the library's unconscious mind, its memory. holding echoes of countless lives, countless stories.
It's not sterile, it's alive with history, with potential. A sharp contrast to the modern world she was strolling through on her phone.
This is tangible history, tangible stories.
And the big discovery down there, a thick book left open on a table with handwritten notes in blue ink.
The power of stories.
And those handwritten notes are key, aren't they?
Oh, you said that.
Because they signify someone else was here. Someone else was engaging deeply with this. It's not just an old book. It's like a conversation across time.
Clues left by a previous explorer.
Exactly. And then she reads the quote on the open page, the one with the notes.
A story is not just words. It is a mirror, a map, and a spark. It shows you who you are, where you could go, and lights the way.
And the story says she gets goosebumps.
Yeah, that physical reaction.
It's the body reacting to profound truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's break that down. A mirror, showing us ourselves, our struggles, our potential.
Helping us understand our own inner world.
Right. A map, offering guidance, showing paths others took, suggesting directions for our own lives.
And a spark.
Yeah, igniting ideas, courage, possibility, setting something new alight inside us. This quote just reframes reading completely.
From a task to
a tool for radical self-discovery, navigation even, elevating stories to something essential.
And then the librarian appears, gently explains it belonged to Mr. Clark.
The first librarian.
Right, his favorite book. He believes stories could heal people, left notes to help guide others.
So Mira's personal discovery connects to this whole legacy, this lineage of belief right there in that library.
Mr. Clark wasn't just shelving books.
No, he was cultivating a space for healing, for growth, leaving breadcrumbs for people like Mira.
So she leaves the basement, not just with books this time.
2 books and a notebook.
What started as just escaping the rain has led her into this mystery, revealed a hidden world, connected her to a legacy.
And sparked something new, the desire to write herself. The spark from the page is turning into an impulse to create.
Yeah, the journey isn't just about receiving anymore. It's about activating her own potential. Taking in stories is leading to putting out her own thoughts.
Her fascination with the basement, Mr. Clark, those notes.
Yeah.
It just deepens. She feels like every word she reads now is speaking directly to her.
She's developed a new filter, hasn't she? A new sensitivity.
Yeah, instead of just seeing text, she's seeing meaning, personal relevance. It's active engagement now.
And she copies this powerful quote into her new notebook. Books do not change the world, readers do.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And she writes it again, slower, really feeling the words.
That quote is such a crucial shift. It puts the agency, the power, squarely on the reader.
Right. Books provide the fuel, the mirror, the map, the spark.
But it's the reader who has to engage, interpret, and crucially, act on those insights. The power isn't just in the book, it's in the interaction.
And writing it slowly is like internalizing it.
Making it part of her own operating system. It's saying, okay, the potential for change is within me, and it's activated by what I read.
Wanting to understand this legacy more, she asks about Mr. Clark.
And she gets shown his journal.
Yeah. Letters, photos, stories of real people whose lives were changed by reading in that library.
Tangible evidence. This makes the power of stories concrete, not just abstract.
Exactly. Real stories. Eliza publishing a book, a boy finding strength, a woman healing from heartbreak. It shows Mira this transformation is actually possible for people like her.
And then she discovers Mr. Clark's secret code almost.
The blue stickers inside certain books, saying for those who seek something more.
Wow.
He believed readers were seekers, right? Looking for a lesson, a dream, a path, and he was leaving clues.
What a beautiful idea. It turns the library into this treasure hunt for meaning.
Frames reading as a quest.
And the librarian, the clue giver, Makes choosing a book feel like an act of faith, trusting there's a message inside meant for you, the seeker.
And connecting you across time to Mr. Clark.
Yeah, and the current librarian adds this profound insight.
You don't have to be a writer to be changed by stories. You just have to be open.
That just takes the pressure right off, doesn't it?
Also, transformation isn't just for aspiring writers.
It's for anyone willing to be receptive, to let the words in, see themselves in the mirror, consider the map. Openness is the key.
But Mira is feeling that urge to write now. She fills 5 pages in her notebook, quotes, ideas, questions, even a paragraph about her own life.
She feels like something's waking up.
That active engagement, copying words, reflecting it, stirring her own creativity, her own self-expression.
The passive reader is becoming an active participant in the world of words, finding her voice in response to the voices she's reading.
Which leads to this deeper understanding. Reading isn't just about improving her English anymore.
No, it's way beyond that now.
It's about discovering who she is, what she feels, what's possible for her. She's realizing the beginning of her new life was literally hidden in that dusty basement.
Waiting for her to find it. This is the core shift, isn't it? Language learning moves from being just an external skill
to an internal journey.
Yeah, of self-discovery.
Yeah.
English is the vehicle, but the real subject is herself. The something more Mr. Clark hinted at wasn't just knowledge, but a deeper connection to her own potential, her own purpose.
And feeling ready for the next step, the book that changes everything. The librarian gives her the book of questions.
Ah, okay. An old, treasured, dark red book.
Offers no answers, only the right questions.
This is another pivotal moment. The shift from external stories to internal questioning. Why is a book of questions so powerful here?
Good question. Why?
Because transformation isn't just about absorbing outside info, right? It's about internal processing, confronting our own beliefs, fears, desires.
Answers tell you.
Questions make you think. And asking the right questions means probing the core of who you are, who you want to be.
And these questions are incredibly direct, deeply personal.
Like what?
What is the life you dream of, and what is stopping you from living it? Who are you when no one is watching?
Wow.
What would you do if fear disappeared for one day? When did you stop believing in yourself? And why?
They feel like they were written just for her.
Exactly.
These questions are designed to bypass the superficial, get right to the heart of those self-limiting beliefs, unacknowledged desires, dormant courage.
They demand vulnerability, honesty.
Just confronting them is an act of bravery.
And she uses the book in this really mindful way. Sits outside, reads a question, closes the book, just thinks.
And then writes in her notebook.
Yeah. And this process starts unlocking things, buried memories, old dreams, fears she hadn't faced.
Childhood dreams, wanting to be a teacher.
Fear of speaking up, the wish to travel.
That structured process, read, reflect, write, it creates this safe container for deep introspection.
Turns those abstract fears and dreams into something concrete she can look at, work with.
Writing them down solidifies them, gives them form, helps her gain clarity.
And her answer to that question about what she'd tell the world, she whispers it to the night air.
What does she say?
Your story matters, even if no one else sees it yet.
Wow. That's powerful evidence of her internal shift. She's affirming the value of her own story, even before anyone else does.
Yeah, moving from feeling small and insignificant to recognizing the inherent worth in her own experience.
That comes directly from the internal work prompted by those questions.
And she feels physically different the next day. Stronger, clearer.
The mind-body connection, right?
Yeah.
Deep psychological work often shows up physically. Less anxiety, more clarity, purpose. It can make you feel lighter, stronger.
And this internal change cements a new habit. reading every morning and evening.
Not because she has to.
But because she wants to. It's a habit of the heart, she calls it. Not homework anymore.
It's moved from being an external requirement to an intrinsic need, like nourishment for her soul, her mind, part of her daily well-being.
And she starts sharing, almost instinctively, little things,
Like,
quotes with coworkers, little messages written on napkins. Be kind to yourself today, or you're becoming something beautiful.
that internal transformation just can't be contained, can it? It naturally flows outwards, influences her interactions, spreads a bit of positivity,
She's not just living the change, she's radiating it.
and others notice. A coworker says she seems lighter.
And attributes it to her reading.
External validation reinforces for Mira that the work she's doing is having a real visible impact, not just on her, but how others see her.
And she connects it all back. Sitting in the basement again, she sees Mr. Clark's map, the marked books, the notes, the stories, signs on a path towards purpose.
Reading has become her way to learn about life, people, hope, herself,
Yeah.
and how to follow that path he laid out.
She's not just reading books anymore.
She's reading the world through this new lens that books and Mr. Clark's legacy provided. Seeing the library not just as information, but as a design space for growth. And she's now an active participant in that design.
Okay, so having found her voice internally through reading and writing, Mira feels this strong pull to share it more actively, more externally.
Makes sense. The next logical step.
And she starts by writing a letter to someone really important, her younger self.
Oh, wow. That's a profound act. Compassion, integration.
Yeah, her current, more confident self reaching back to comfort and reassure that scared, inadequate part of her.
Acknowledging the journey, validating the past pain, but celebrating the transformation. The writing itself is part of the healing.
She writes, "Dear younger me," acknowledging the fear, the lack of confidence, worrying about English words, tells her it'll be okay.
That she'll find a dusty book.
Discover stories that listen. Find her voice not just in English, but in life.
That she'll stop hiding, start writing, believe her thoughts, her story, herself matter.
The story says she cries, feels a sense of coming home.
That letter just distills her whole journey up to now, doesn't it? Fear and silence to voice and self-acceptance. Language as the vehicle, but internal liberation as the destination. Coming home means she's finally inhabiting herself.
And she folds this letter into the Book of Questions.
Ah, the book that guided her introspection. Symbolic. Her own story, her hard-won wisdom placed alongside the questions that prompted it.
She's become, in a way, a source of guidance herself, a testament to answering those questions honestly.
Then she has this dream shelves lined with her words, her notes. Wakes up knowing the next step.
She needs to help others. The personal transformation immediately blossoms into contribution.
It's the natural trajectory, isn't it?
Yeah.
Find something valuable, then want to share it, light the path for others.
Just like it was lit for her. Her dream isn't just about recognition, it's about impact through her own voice.
So she goes to the librarian, asks if she can mark books like Mr. Clark did, leave messages for someone who might need them.
Stepping consciously into his legacy, becoming part of the library's living tradition. No longer just a seeker.
She's becoming a clue lever.
She starts small, adds her note to Voices of the Heart. You're not alone. Someone else has felt this too. Keep going, adds a blue sticker. Marks other books that touched her.
Those small notes are powerful acts of empathy. Connection. They bridge the isolation a reader might feel, especially a language learner.
A direct message from one heart to another, carried by the book, using her own experience of feeling alone.
And this starts something remarkable in the library. Word spreads.
People start checking books for messages.
Yeah. and leaving a sentence, a thank you, a quote in their own language.
The library becomes a living conversation, a bridge between people who might never interact otherwise.
Exactly. Community building through shared vulnerability, small acts of kindness, all facilitated by the books. The library transforms from quiet repository to dynamic space of human connection.
The margins of books become this forum for shared hope.
Across cultures, languages.
There's that touching moment where she sees a nervous young girl, like she used to be, hesitant with a poetry book.
And the girl finds Mira's note.
If a line makes you feel something, then it's already yours. The girl smiles. Mira's heart warms.
That's the tangible impact. Seeing the cycle complete her message, born from her journey, directly reaching and comforting someone where she used to be, validates the whole effort.
Mira's understanding crystallizes. Reading connects hearts. The notes, stickers, messages. They're bridges between people who might never meet but share something real.
A feeling, a struggle, a moment of hope. It's that inherent human need for connection and understanding. And stories, even simple notes, fulfill that need.
Her final notebook entry nails it. Reading gave me a voice, and now my voice is helping others find their own.
Beautiful culmination of this phase. Self-discovery leads directly to empowering others.
This momentum naturally leads to the reading club. Not some grand plan, just wanting to share something good.
An organic extension, from notes and books to direct interaction.
Asks for a corner of the library, an hour a week. The librarian, who's seen it all, just nods.
Of course, the library corner becomes the designated space for this new connection.
She puts up a simple sign. Welcoming. Reading Club Saturday, 11 a.m. All welcome, no pressure, just stories, smiles, and slow English.
Designed to lower barriers, right? All welcome, no pressure, slow English. Speaks directly to those anxieties. Emphasizes acceptance over performance.
She has no idea if anyone will even show up.
But they do. First meeting, 3 people, Iran, Colombia, the Philippines.
And Mira's welcome sets the tone. We don't have to be perfect, we just have to be present.
Love that. Sets the stage for safety, vulnerability.
They read slowly, talk simply, stumble over words, laugh, share feelings.
That's the spirit. Authentic presence, shared humanity, not linguistic perfection. Laughter, shared feelings, that's part of learning too. Humanizing it.
And the club grows quickly. 5, then 8, then many more.
Diverse countries, India, Nigeria, Ukraine, China, Brazil.
Becomes this vibrant community. Tea, cookies, shared books. Members start feeling brave, feeling, as the story says, fully human again in a new place.
That sense of belonging is transformative, especially for immigrants, language learners. Combats isolation, provides shared identity, mutual support, makes navigating a new culture less lonely.
And the stories become their common ground.
They even start this tradition. Story circles, collaborative writing.
Each person adds a sentence, building a story together. They write one about a girl finding a library, having big dreams, becoming brave, helping others.
Wait, that's...
They realize it's her story. Then they realize it's our story.
Wow, writing their shared narrative of finding courage and community right there.
Full of mistakes, laughter, magic.
The stakes embraced with laughter. Makes the creative act inclusive, joyful.
The club expands even more. Kids, teens, adults, grandparents.
Stories don't care about age, accents, origin, do they?
They just ask, will you listen? And will you share?
That highlights the universal power of storytelling. Transcends demographics, imperfections. The fundamental human need to share and listen drives it all.
And the impact is palpable. The room feels lighter, hearts open. People find courage to speak outside the club.
Finish reading their first full book in English.
That confidence cultivated in the safe space spills over into their lives. It's not just reading skills, it's confidence to engage with the world, use their voices.
And then the note, taped to her chair, anonymous.
Thank you, Mira. You helped me find my voice.
A direct echo of her own journey. Confirms the ripple effect is real, deeply personal.
Mira.
Someone else completed a similar arc, empowered by the community Mira fostered.
Brings the abstract idea of impact right back to a single heartfelt message
And she folds this note.
into the book of questions alongside the letter to her younger self, seeing how much has changed all from that one brave decision to pick up a book.
The book that started as her guide now holds the evidence of her impact, the community she fostered, markers of her growth, and the growth she inspired.
This remarkable local impact naturally leads to recognition on bigger stages. An invitation arrives.
City Literacy Foundation, Voices of Change event.
The energy she generated locally is now being seen by larger institutions. Her authentic story is valuable, inspiring.
But Mira's immediate reaction.
A surge of the old fears. Not good enough. English isn't perfect. Fear of judgment.
It's a crucial reminder, isn't it?
Yeah.
Growth doesn't just erase insecurities. Bigger platform, higher stakes, reactivates those fears.
But this time, there's a stronger, steady inner voice meeting the fear.
The voice she cultivated.
Telling her, you have something to share. You've come far. Your story matters.
Built on evidence, the notes, the club, the thank you, it's strong enough now to challenge the self-doubt.
And she turns again to the book of questions, finds an underlined page.
What does it say?
Sometimes the next chapter begins with fear, but if we don't turn the page, we'll never know what happens. Feels like the book was waiting for her.
Still offering timely wisdom, framing fear not as a stop sign, but a threshold.
Move through the fear to discover what's beyond.
So she shares the invitation with the club, voice trembling.
And they just overwhelm her with support, clapping, hugging, insisting, you're the reason we're here, help more people.
The community she created becomes her anchor, her strength. They believe in her, like Mr. Clark and the librarian believed in her.
Reciprocal empowerment. She gave them courage, now they give it back.
And the preparation becomes this group effort.
Practicing, making mistakes, laughing, club members helping with grammar, cheering her on. It's their story too.
Courage isn't just individual, it's cultivated in community. Her speaking journey is a shared victory.
Event night. Grand hall, mics, lights, palms sweating backstage.
Understandable.
But a woman backstage offers a quiet word. You're already making a difference.
A small moment of validation grounds her in the impact she's already had. The stage is just an extension.
Takes a deep breath, speaks calmly, clearly, from the heart, tells her story, dusty book, fears, club, courage, connection.
And the powerful conclusion.
Reading didn't just help me learn English, it helped me learn courage. It helped me remember that our voices matter, even if we're not perfect, especially when we're not perfect.
That's the core message she earned the right to share. Speaks directly to language learners, anyone silenced by imperfection or fear. Reframes imperfection not as a barrier, but part of the authentic voice.
The response. Long, warm applause. People approach her, thanking her.
Saying her story reminds them why they do this work, inspires them to read again.
She feels belonging on this big stage, but still grounded in her small beginnings.
Her authentic story transcends her context, speaks to the universal journey, connects through being real, vulnerable.
Her notebook reflection captures it. Today, I didn't just read a chapter, I lived one.
Beautiful. Her life has become the most compelling story, actively lived, written through her choices.
Inspired by sharing her story, the next big idea emerges.
Writing a book.
Yeah, for others afraid to start, speak, fail. A simple book, short stories, gentle words, hope. Title: The Courage to Read.
Creating the map and spark she herself found. A guide for those just beginning.
The writing process is deeply personal. Starts, Dear reader, welcome. Weaves in her own story's first book, Coffee Shop Mistakes.
And importantly, reframes those challenging words.
Right. Failure becomes first lesson. Accent becomes story music. Alone becomes waiting to be found.
That reframing is so powerful for learners. Shifts perspective from judgment to growth, acceptance.
Wants the book to feel like a friend, approachable, non-intimidating, like the club.
The writing process mirrors her journey.
Yeah.
Doubts, perseverance, fueled by purpose, by the people she wants to reach.
She gives draft copies to the club first. I wrote this for you.
And they feel her presence, call it a bridge.
The librarian shares it, community colleges use it, teachers say students feel seen. A woman in another town starts her own group because of it.
The book immediately fulfills its purpose, extends her influence, her message, far beyond the library. A scalable version of the notes she left, fosters new connections, confirms the need.
Which leads to a publishing company contacting her. She hesitates.
New level of exposure, new fear.
But draws on her past steps, says, okay, let's turn the page.
Choosing courage again, using the language of her own transformation.
Holding the published book, simple cover, dedication. For every learner, reader, and dreamer, you are not alone.
Reinforces the core message of connection, shared humanity.
Shares it with the club. They say, you did it. She replies, we did it.
Acknowledging the collective journey, her success is linked to the community that supported her.
But the journey doesn't stop there. Another envelope arrives, thick, golden stamped.
International Literacy Conference, New York City, Global Literacy Network.
Wow. From a rainy day in a local library to a global stage in NYC shows the exponential potential of following that spark, consistently choosing courage.
But new fears bubble up again, the scale, the global audience, her English on that stage.
But she remembers every step, every yes over fear. That inner voice, now a strong companion, says, this is your next chapter.
The cycle repeats fear, courage. But her internal resources are stronger each time, relies on past bravery, internalized guidance.
Prepares for NYC, new speech power of small steps, practices daily.
Club chairs are on. Go, Mira. Show the world your light. Family helps too.
The support network remains vital, emotional, practical resources. And the message of small steps reflects her whole journey, not one giant leap, but deliberate, often fearful, small steps.
At the airport, she pauses, compares herself now to that scared younger woman who hated books.
Now ready to share her story with the world.
A moment of powerful self-recognition, gratitude for the distance traveled, highlights the transformation.
NYC Conference, a melting pot. Hundreds from many countries, united by the same hope for literacy, change. She stands on that big stage, speaks.
Stepping onto that stage validates the universality of her message, connects with fellow travelers globally.
Her speech, simple but powerful, recounts the journey book, library, club, courage, connection, change, how reading found her voice.
And sharing found others' voices.
The power isn't complex language. It's the authenticity, the emotional resonance of her personal story. Sharing the process inspires.
And the impact in NYC. Similar? Applause, thanks, people moved, inspired.
Feels belonging on the global stage, but stays true to the quiet courage of her small beginnings.
Her story, rooted locally, resonates globally, because it speaks to fundamental human experiences: fear, seeking, community, purpose, authenticity.
Her NYC journal reflection sums it up, now tested globally. No matter where we come from, no matter how small we feel, our stories matter. Today, I learned that courage grows when we share our journey with others.
The ultimate distillation. Sharing her story, born from finding her voice, empowers others and strengthens her own courage. A virtuous cycle.
Returning home after NYC, Mira's full of energy, new ideas, ready to explore not just the world of books,
But the world itself.
the journey expanded her horizons. Confidence, connection, empower her to engage with the wider world, a space for more learning, more connection.
She shares her NYC experience with the club, emphasizes connecting across cultures, listening.
Brings the global lessons back to the community that launched her. Integrates the wider perspective.
Which sparks the next big idea, coming from the club members themselves.
Visiting other clubs. Sharing their stories.
The initiative comes from the community now, shows their growth, their desire to extend the concept. Co-creators.
Launches the Reading Bridges Project, traveling, visiting other learning communities, building connections through stories, kindness, reading.
The name says it all. Using stories, shared experience to create understanding between diverse groups.
It involves effort, reaching out, getting no's and yes.
But Mira, now resilient, doesn't give up. Challenges remain, but her perspective shifted. Obstacles are learning opportunities.
Travels with friends from the club, bringing books, games, hope.
Still a community effort, extending the warmth of their home library.
Meeting new communities, different learners, bigger cities, but the smiles, the same.
Reinforces the universality. Human desire for connection. Power of shared stories bridging divides.
The process at each meeting. Simple, authentic. Mira tells her story, others share theirs. Read, laugh, practice English. Real human connection.
Success lies in simplicity, authenticity. Replicating the human-centered approach of the original club, shared vulnerability, mutual respect.
And the impact confirmed by small moments. A young woman in a cafe. Your story helped me start reading again. Thank you.
Those individual interactions are the true measure. Back to the fundamental human impact. One person inspiring other. One story changing a life.
The project grows over months. Traveling, meeting people, collecting stories. Each story a bridge, bringing people closer.
Amira's confidence grows with every step. Action fuels confidence. Doing the work, connecting, witnessing the impact, reinforces her belief in herself, her mission.
And another invitation arrives. Famous University. Speak about the project, the transformative power of reading. She accepts.
The journey of sharing continues, reaching new audiences, gaining academic recognition for the grassroots work.
Looking towards her next speech, watching the sunrise, feeling hope, whispers to herself.
Reading was the first step. Now the world is waiting.
Not an ending, is it? An affirmation of an ongoing journey.
Reading opened the door. Self-discovery, community, impact. Now possibilities are limitless. The world is the next chapter.
So what does this incredible deep dive into Mira's story, what does it mean for you listening now?
Well, we followed her, didn't we? From disliking books, feeling small, inadequate, to becoming an author, an advocate, a bridge builder, connecting communities through stories and vulnerability.
Yeah, we saw how specific moments, that rainy day detour, the hidden legacy in the basement, resonant quotes, the power of asking the right questions, an anonymous note, the strength of community, they weren't just plot points.
No, they were catalysts, propelling her forward towards courage, towards purpose.
This deep dive wasn't just tracing one person's story, it was seeing a powerful model of transformation. How seeking knowledge, embracing curiosity about yourself, about others, being open to messages and stories.
It can unlock immense courage, help you find your own unique voice, whether that's in a new language or just a new phase of life.
So it really raises a powerful question for you, the listener, right now. What clues is your own journey leaving for you?
Yeah, what potential might be lying hidden in plain sight? Maybe in something you currently dismiss or even fear.
Just waiting for you to notice it, engage with it, and simply dare to turn the page.
The path towards finding your purpose, your voice, building those meaningful connections, it often starts with that single brave decision
Mhm.
to explore, to listen deeply to words and to yourself, and eventually to share the story only you can tell.
Thank you for joining us on the deep dive. We really hope Mira's journey encourages you to look for the clues in your own story.